So people who are watching now who are intrigued by what you've said, how would they find out more about human design and how would they use it in their lives?
Well, if they go on Jovian Archive, you can get your chart done for free. You don't, it doesn't cost anything. You literally doesn't ask for any credit card details or anything like that. You Google Jovian, Jovian, Jovian Archive. It's two separate words.
I'll put a link into the.
It'll say get your free chart, and then if you click on that and you put in you must know your time of birth. It doesn't have to be to the minute or the second if it's in within sort of 6 hours, but more than that, if you don't know, it's better if you do. You're not going to be completely sure that your chart is correct if you haven't got the right sort of time frame. So time of birth, place of birth, it'll ask you for city and country and time of birth and place of birth. And then your chart appears straight away. And it actually, you'll see it, and it's like a body graph. That's what it's called. It's sort of a triangle with then a man's sort of silhouette of a head inside the first triangle. And then you've got these nine motors, which is the ajna, the head, the throat, the G center, the sacral, the solar plexus, the spleen, the ego, and the root. And so, dependent on whether that is colored in or not, if it's colored in, then you are defined in that motor, whether it be the mind or the ego or the. And if it's not and it's white, then you're undefined. So that's what you're here to learn. So I have, for example, I have an undefined ego, right? Undefined, and that's all to do with money and sex and willpower. So I have no access to willpower around other people. I stopped, for example, I stopped smoking for 6 years. And then I had Matt, my Sundance chief, and his partner come and live with me for a year. It took 6 weeks. And one day we're out on the balcony having our deep chats as we always did. And all of a sudden, I couldn't hear what he was saying anymore. I just leaned forward. And before I know it, the tobacco was in my mouth. And that unleashed a tobacco addiction then for the next year. As soon as he left, I got patches and stopped. I don't want to be smoking. He's 10 years younger than me. So, when my daughter comes back, I'm tempted. And sometimes I have a little rolling because she's in my space and I'm seeing it. And sometimes it's just like, as soon as she's gone, wouldn't enter my head.
So the part of you that's undefined, is that the part of you that needs work? That we need
Yes,
to work on?
you're here to work on the motors that are coloured in. You've already got a degree in.
So what am I undefined?
Mhm.
Let's see if we can find it.
Yes, I shall tell
I
you.
should have had this in front of me, shouldn't I?
Oh, oh.
Let's see.
Let's see what motors you are undefined in. Yes, and then you can have we can talk about that, and you can tell me what you.
No, I don't really my
There we
chart.
go.
Oh, we found it.
For some reason, it's not wanting to open.
Oh, yeah, I got a PDF, didn't I? Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can find it. Download. It'll be my downloads. Let's see.
I'm clicking on it. Mind you, my phone's been playing up a little bit recently, but it's not clicking on it and it's not
Oh,
opening.
hang on. Human design chart. Right. So, oh my goodness. I'll share my screen with you, and then you can see it, and everyone else can see it, and hopefully I'm not
It's a great idea.
exposing myself as something
There
really
we
personal.
go.
So
Okay.
what's
Yeah. So
undefined and
you've
what's
got a lot of undefined. You've got a lot of undefined. So emotionally, when you're around people who are emotionally defined and, you know, you're feeling fine, you're feeling okay. They're not. They're just an argument with somebody. And they come rushing into your energy. They come into your space. And suddenly you're all kind of like, what? Don't feel very. Are you going to be staying long? I mean, that's what you would do. Somebody go, hang on, whoa, 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 whoa. I was feeling great. What's going on? Again, you have them. undefined G center, which is the one just down from the throat. You have the
Is-
throat,
So
so
what is that here?
that's this one. No, that's the throat.
All right, so you go, all right, so this is the G center here.
So head, ajna, throat, G center. This is
Okay.
yellow. Mine's filled in. What that means is it's the way that we love. So you don't have a set way of loving people. It changes with who they are and who you are and the circumstances and the environment. I have
If
a very set way of loving.
if my throat is gold, does that mean I talk a lot?
Your throat is brown,
Is
like
that
mine.
right? Oh, look, gold to me.
Okay.
I say
Yeah.
gold.
It's yeah, it means that yeah, you're a chatter, you're a talker. You like to express yourself in um different ways. And you see, anywhere you've got any of these lines that are not a complete line, and I mean, you've got one here from the 11 to the 36 there, the 11 to the 36, this up by the green. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, you've got that, but it's in red, so it's unconscious. You've got little bits of black. So that stream when you're speaking is from an unconscious place. And you see this here, you've got over on this left-hand side, you've got the number 48 circled,
yes.
and you've got a black line going halfway up.
Yeah.
That's conscious. Anything in black is conscious. Anything in red is unconscious. So that is the line of talent. And I have that in a complete, straight, complete line. So it's just symmetrics, it's just energy, it's just chemistry. But when you're with me, you will feel more talented, you will feel more inspired, you will feel more, yeah, just enthusiastic, or because I'm coming in with a full stream of talent. So it's not arrogant or anything else, but I do know consciously that I'm a talented person in the things that I'm talented in.
Mm.
I'm talented, I've mastered sales. I'm a talented salesperson. I can sell anything as long as I'm passionate about it. So yeah, that's what I'm saying there. Where we have lines that are not complete, and then we get in the energy of someone who has that line complete, they just complete it for us. You know,
Ah,
so you see here where, if you take this for an example, the number 18, it's a red line at the bottom of your chart
yes.
there,
Yeah.
right? So say I had the 58 on the other side of that.
Hmm.
Those two, our energy comes together, whatever that stream is. Say that's the stream of kindness, and you feel quite kind. But then when you're with me, you feel really kind because the whole stream for you is
Okay.
completed by my energy matching you up to the other side. It's like in this line here, from the solar plexus into the sacral, right? There's the sacral motor right in the center there. There's the
Yeah.
root. You've got an open root that other people's energy are really going to impact you. You have to be really, really mindful of that. Sometimes you're just going to think he's a twat. She's what? You're just going to be these people are going to impact your energy, and if they've just left and there was an argument in that, you're really going to pick up on that. I do all the time. So sometimes, getting into groups for me, I don't always welcome it. It doesn't always work for me because there's just too much of people's different auras and energy impacting my body and then impacting my voice and then impacting my experience. And so a lot of the time I end up shrinking or overwhelmed. So I like visiting things like Glastonbury, but I couldn't really do, like, because it's just I just would be overwhelmed, and so would you. You have to be very sort of mindful. Very important showers for us, coming in from a day's work or being around lots of other people's energy, negative energy, being in low frequency environments, hospitals, prisons, places of low, warehouses, supermarkets with no natural light. All those things we have to be really we have to make sure that's not hippie shit. That's everything is energy.
And
And
knowing what you need sounds really important.
you'll be absorbing that more than others. So, like I say, with the open emotional thing, people will impact you emotionally more than you'll impact them. So, if you're in a good mood and they're in a bad mood, be careful because
That's interesting.
you can take them in more than they're going to take you in.
That's interesting. I think I had an experience of that about 2 hours ago.
Right? Okay. And it's being able to recognize that and be able to go, that's not mine. Okay.
Oh, you can have that back. Yeah. And in
Uh,
therapy, we'd call that countertransference. And
yes.
yeah, it's fascinating because we often hear different words for the same things. But
Yeah.
yeah, very interesting. So, any final thoughts on human design? Any
Everyone should
final takeaway you'd like for our viewers?
everyone should get their chart done. Why would you not? Why would you not want to be informed? Why would you not want to know more of how you can have more ease and flow and align more to your purpose? That if you're a person who needs to be doing something that's helping others, or you're someone who needs to be doing something that comes from a place of fun, so it doesn't even feel like work. You know, for me to have to do what's correct and to have an abundance of money and all the rest, I need to do what I love. Well, you could say that's true of everybody. Yes, and yes, there's an element of that, but there's certain people who are just designed, excuse the pun, to do certain things and to be in environments. People who have their marketplace as their environment. I mean, they're the ones who love the cities and love the concrete and don't feel any need necessarily to be in nature or to be grounding and hugging trees. You know what I mean? Because their environment actually is the hubbub. That's how they get their ideas, all that noise. For other people, that's hell. They can't
Mhm.
get any clarity or any sense of direction or stillness or clearness of what they need to do at all. So it's all to do with, some people are designed to only eat one food type at a time to not overload the senses. That's why they put on weight, maybe because they're overloading their plate and overloading their senses. They're actually designed to just have one food thing at a time. Just
So this is about knowing ourselves better. And even if, I'm keeping a skeptical open mind about this, but even if any of this, what harm will it do? It's an exploration, and I think one of the things I find quite interesting about this is even as you're talking, there'll be certain things that go, well, that's not me. That does sound right. I'm still exploring and it's
curious.
still useful even if I don't believe it.
Absolutely. There's a curiosity there, and that's enough. But it's kind of like that, and that's the way that I feel is sort of, if I can I've put it into practice, you see. So there's certain aspects I've read in that when I've had readings, I've come to understand about myself. And a bit like the Enneagram, it doesn't mean that's a life sentence. You can overcome these things. Just because this is who you are right now doesn't mean that's who you actually are inside. Those are layers, or sometimes it's about getting on the other side of that. Who am I on the other side of my fears? Who am I on the other side of my resentments? Who am I on the other side of my trauma? And I just feel like therapy, human design, enneagrams, all these modalities, all these structures are a help. They're
Yeah.
an insight. They're a knowledge far more than any bloody book, because any book that's been produced best helps its author. Other people get a trickle down and everyone raves about Eckhart Tolle. Other people know they don't gravitate towards him. It's acoustic. My knowledge is acoustic. My transference of it is acoustic. And it depends how people pick things up. You may need to actually see the facts and actually see the proof in front of you, from someone claiming whatever else. Other people need to see it. Other people need to feel it. Other people need to taste it. Other people need, it's a sense of smell even.
But either way, give it a go. Get your chart, see
More
what.
insights, a toolbox, and especially in the environment we're living in at the moment, I just think that anything that gives me more self awareness, more knowledge, more compassion for others, and more understanding and resonance that this is just all one big journey at the moment that we all need to go through, and it's all an opportunity to actually just come back to ourselves and who we truly were before the conditioning, before our parents, before the wounding, before the traumas, and before what's been going on in the last 4 years. So it just, I think it can bring people a lot of self knowledge and a lot of peace and a lot of hope. And
Brilliant.
I think that's really important at the moment.
I think that's a good note to end on. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.